welcome to another edition of Inside Look. As you can see, I am not Megan Miller. I'm filling in for Megan today because the topic is golf and the Gary DiNardo Scholarship Golf Tournament, which will be taking place not too long from now, Friday, June 3rd. And with me, my guest for the next half hour is Nick DiNardo, the son of Gary DiNardo, who, if you're from North Attleboro and you don't know the DiNardos, then you're not a true townie. I remember your uncle Doug was, he might have been North Attleboro's first 1,000-point scorer.
It. Good memory.
And I'm trying to think, with the exception of the Babels, I'm not sure.
Pat McGowan.
Pat McGowan, that's right. I was there for Pat's 1,000th point as well. So there's been 4 boys 1,000-point scorers?
Unless there's been anybody after Pat in 2000.
But your uncle was the first.
He was the first with no three-pointers, too, he'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It was a different game back then.
That's right.
Mark Schmidt over at Bishop Fee High School, I don't know if you know Mark Schmidt,
Yep.
who's now at St. Bonaventure's and rumored to be a possible head coach at his alma mater, Boston College.
Yeah.
Scored, I believe, 1,450 points before the three-pointer. Can you imagine? And a lot of those points would have been three-pointers.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're not here to talk about high school basketball, although I could easily fill a half hour doing that. We're talking about the Gary DiNardo tournament, which is coming up on June 3rd. For people who don't know the DiNardos or don't know what happened with your dad, passed away at a very young age.
Yeah, died at 58, pulmonary hypertension, had some health issues, but lived a lot longer than, lived a better life than a lot of people would have, living at 90 years old and not doing anything. He was always vibrant, vivacious, loved the town of North Attleboro, loved sports, loved performing arts, because my brother was a performing arts student. And we decided, after he passed in 2009, that we would start this scholarship fund in memory of him, to keep his memory going, and then also provide some opportunities for graduating North Attleboro students to continue their education. So we have 2 scholarships. We have a $2,500 scholarship for athletes. It used to be just baseball, but we've kind of opened it up this year for all athletes in North Attleboro. And we have a performing arts scholarship because, again, my brother was in the performing arts and my dad was always front row watching him perform. So it's really exciting. This is the 8th year, and we provided $36,000 in scholarship funds.
That is unbelievable. Yeah. Hey, North TV gives away 3 $500 scholarships, and then we double one of those to one of the 3 recipients of 1,000. That's not even close to what you people are giving away each year.
Yeah, it means a lot to us, and we get such a great turnout every year. We had it. Doug Johnson, who you may know, he was an Attleboro guy.
Now, was it New Bedford Municipal the first year?
It was at it wasn't New Bedford. It was Whaling City.
Whaling City,
That's right. I always mix those 2 up.
Actually, they're one and the same. It used to be
really?
New Bedford Municipal was Whaling City.
Got it. So that makes sense. So for the first 5 or 6 years it was there, and we decided to move it closer. So now we have it at Wentworth Hills Country Club, and we've been getting a great turnout since last year when we started it. We have 124 golfers signed up already, and many more are signing up. We got about a month left, so it's going well.
Doug Johnson, of course, local guy, I believe was an Attleboro High grad. He also passed away at a very, very young age.
Did.
You gotta live life for every day, is what I always say.
And him and my dad were like 2 peas in a pod. They were always hanging out. Live life. I mean, they lived it as if they weren't going to make it to tomorrow. And I couldn't be pissed about the way that my dad lived to 58 years old. I mean, he was class act all the way. Always spent time with his family. Always would give you a kiss on the cheek and tell you he loved you, and he was the best.
Now, you mentioned another brother. Do you have any other siblings?
One younger brother, 3 years younger, Jesse DiNardo. He lives in Providence. And we have Aaron DiNardo, who is Doug's son, Sarah Ann, who is kind of the project manager the day of. Aaron is on the board of directors. We have your brother, Bob, is a part of our board of directors. Timmy McGowan, who's another staple of North Attleboro. Mike Bartuca, who has his own tournament for Mark Van Dett, who's on our board. And Pat Hurley, who has recently moved down. He took a job with the PGA Tour, and he helps us out a ton with the
Pat's living the tough life, I'll tell you.
Yeah, he is. Exactly. So he's in Jacksonville now, living the tough life, getting ready for the Players' Championship. So we have an amazing board, amazing support system, and since we moved it back to North Attleboro, it's gangbusters.
Now, the reason you have to have a board of directors, and I know this because North TV, North Attleboro Community Television, is a 501c3 company.
Right.
And to disperse those kind of funds and to raise those kind of funds, you need to be set up as a charity. Otherwise, any income you'd be paying out in taxes.
Exactly. We set up very early to become a 501c3. The process takes a while, but we started that process very early. We did not have a full board of directors for a while until we really started to drive the scholarship fund like a business almost, because we were starting to see a little bit of a decline in total golfers and participation when we were down in New Bedford. Yeah. So we decided to really turn it into a business, get people involved, and that has since allowed us to really expand the tournament, which has been fantastic.
Now, your dad passed away. Was it the following year that the tournament was held?
It's funny. He died March 19th, 2009. We had the tournament that July.
Wow.
Yeah, my uncle, it was really spurred by my uncle. He wanted to pay tribute to my dad. Obviously meant a lot to him. And turned the thing around very, very quickly. Had a great turnout. A lot of my dad's former UMass, because he played baseball at UMass, former UMass buddies played. Really great tribute that first year. And since then, the year after that, we started to give out the scholarship. So it was that first year that kind of catapulted everything.
Now, it used to be held, was it on a Saturday in the past? Or was it always on a weekday?
It was on a Saturday. It becomes a little bit more difficult to get shotgun starts on Saturdays. Yeah. So we had to choose whether or not it was going to be on a Monday or a Friday. A lot of people early on, May, June, July, have those Fridays they like to take off early in the year. So we thought Friday would be great. It's turned out well.
Oh, yeah. Nothing like a long weekend, that's for sure.
Exactly.
So the golf tournament was held a few months after your dad passed away. Was it at that point that you set up the nonprofit corporation, or was it after the fact? Do you remember?
We were, man, I'd have to go back into the recesses of my brain, but I think we did. I think we started the process before the tournament, but I think it takes 9 to 12 to maybe 15 months to actually get.
Yeah, it
might be even longer.
It's not easy.
And my uncle was pulling his hair out for a while there, but because we were in service of the 501c3, we were able to get donations, and people were able to. We were able to, once we got the 501c3, we were able to send them verification of the 501c3 status. So it worked out.
And the establishment of the scholarship, did you work in collaboration with the high school, the North Attleboro Scholarship Foundation, or do you choose the recipient?
Yeah, we choose the recipient. We like to be able to do that. It's actually me and my brother will kind of go through, and we have a bunch of criteria that needs to be met for a recipient to be awarded the documentation, but and the scholarship money. But Bob, your brother, was instrumental in getting this off the ground. If we didn't have his support, I don't know where we would be today.
That's right. He was principal at the time.
He was principal at the time, and then Scott Holcomb came in. He was fantastic, and now Mr. Julis has been just carrying on the torch. And Cheryl Comer has been great for us. She collects all the applications, and she keeps me updated every couple of weeks. So we have a great collaboration with North Attleboro High School. It's actually, I think it's the second largest scholarship at the school right now, which is pretty amazing thing.
That is impressive. And as you said, the longer the time passes from your dad's passing, it should be that much more difficult to raise the money. Now, are you putting the money away as a nonprofit in a fund so that, hopefully someday it could be self-sustaining?
That's exactly what we want it to be. We probably have a while before it gets to that point, but many people told us that this thing wouldn't last more than 5 years. These scholarship tournaments don't typically last, and it's just through kind of grit and persistence that we kind of barreled through. The 5-year mark was the really tough mark, because you really need to start getting a younger population of players to get in there and play. It was a lot of my dad's friends and my uncle's friends. Now we're getting this younger group that actually cares a lot about North Attleboro organic growth from the town, from people my age and people even younger. So that year 5 was really tough, and last year was our best turnout yet. We had 128 golfers. So it's amazing, because I didn't think it was going to last either, but we just kind of keep pushing forward, and as long as it's making an impact and carrying on my dad's name, we'll keep doing it.
Oh, absolutely. I was reading one of the emails, I think it was from your Uncle Doug, who said that as of last weekend. And I should mention that we are sitting in the North TV studio on Wednesday, April 27th.
Yep.
Now, this airs for the first time on Friday, May 6th, actually. So, but as of what would it have been Friday, April 22nd, all but 6 groups had been sold.
That's exactly
now,
right.
do you play foursomes or fivesomes?
Foursomes. Some groups have an extra guy in there. So 144 players can play in a shotgun start tournament. Typically, you can get a little bit over that sometimes. We've never gotten there. We've come close. Last year was 124, 128. I think we ended up having. So yeah, we have 6 foursomes left who have not committed or paid. So at this point, we really start to get people will commit early, and then they start to get their payments in. We have PayPal, and you can send your donation or your foursome by check, that sort of stuff. 6 foursomes left to go. So we've never been at this point a month out where, a couple of days and we could be filled up.
That's it. Now, is it a morning or afternoon shotgun?
Morning, 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
It's actually the day of graduation, which is difficult because we used to give out the scholarships. We used to say a little something to each of the recipients during the dinner, and they actually have their what's it called? Their graduation that day. So we do it in the morning, right before everybody tees off.
Yeah.
And it ends up being just as special, having it before everybody tees off. They know why they're there. They see tangibly why it means so much that they're playing that year and any years prior. So yeah.
So the actual presentation isn't made that Wednesday night at formal class night. It's made.
It's at the tournament.
Now, are they acknowledged during formal class night?
I'm not sure. I've asked prior to that. I think they put them in the actual sheet. There's like a sheet which has all the scholarships.
Yeah.
I think they're in there as well. I'm not sure if they are. We kind of leave that to the school, whatever they'd like to do, but we want to make sure that we can give them the donation, the actual check, in person.
So the tournament is on Friday, June 3rd. It is a shotgun start in the morning.
That's right.
What is the entrance fee? In case, and hopefully by the time this show airs, you won't be looking for groups to play anymore. You'll be looking for tea and green sponsors.
That's right.
But in case someone's watching, they knew your dad, did not know about the tournament. And you know what? I'd love to take that Friday off. What does it cost? What is it involved? I would assume it's greens fees, carts. Is there a lunch? What does it entail, and how much is it?
$150, $600 for a foursome, $700 if you want to add a tea sponsorship there. $200 for just a normal tea sponsorship if you're not playing. We've got some great longtime sponsors that we've had that will continue to help out. Comfort Keepers, which is run by Dan Belhumer. He's in Rhode Island. Secured Network Services, Brad Mirza, who's my brother-in-law. A couple of really, really great long-term, lacrosserecruits.com, a couple of really great sponsors. But, what's included is greens fees, great barbecue dinner. There is a hole-in-one hole, longest or straightest drive, typically. We have a bunch of different fun holes during the tournament that you can engage in or not engage in, whether it be a beat the pro hole, where we actually have a pro on the hole, and if you get it closer than the pro, you get a certain benefit. Double your money holes, that sort of thing. So a bunch of stuff. Breakfast in the morning, so we have donuts and coffee set up. And since it's so early, we don't have a formal kind of lunch set up because you're making the turn.
Yeah.
Sometimes hot dogs we have. We've done that in the past, grilled up some hot dogs. But that dinner's the big thing. And then the silent auction at that point. So we open up. We have a ton of support from Mike Bartuca's Armchair Quarterbacks, Authentics. They provide some great signed items from athletes like last year we had Rob Gronkowski, Ted Williams, Mickey Ward signed stuff, Tom Brady signed things. That was huge. And then we also get a bunch of foursomes because people are always looking to bid on get some deals on foursomes, especially private courses they can't play.
I would think Pat Hurley might be able to help you there. Huh?
That's where, he adds a lot of value with that for sure. So he helps us with TPC Boston, TPC River Highlands,
Yep.
Point Judith we just got this year. That wasn't from him, but golf course at Cape Cod, which is a great course down there. And we try and make those kind of destination type things. So maybe we'll package a hotel with that item, but it's great. I mean, we raised, I think just in the silent auction, we raised $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 last year, which is pretty amazing.
Now, is the dinner held on site? I know they have that big tent adjacent to, actually behind the 9th hole and next to the first hole. Is it?
That's where we had it last year,
Okay.
but we're going to have it in Legends Hall this
Yeah, they
year.
were just completed Legends Hall.
Yeah, so we're excited about that. It fits about 200 people, maybe more. What a great space that is.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of, we had the putting tournament right there on that 18th hole. They get the tiki bar there. It's a fun day.
Yeah, that's right. They have the tiki bar.
Yeah, they do.
I forgot about that. So
They do.
let me ask you, because I've seen a number of these tournaments. You have the entrance fee, which you are paying the greens fee. The course isn't being donated, that's for sure. You're paying for the greens fee. You're paying for the meal. You're paying for the cart. You've got your prizes come out of that fee as well. Where is the most money made? Is it from the $600 per foursome? Is it on the tee and green sponsors? Is it silent auction? Give me an idea, breakdown-wise, of where the money is raised.
That's a really great question. So we don't make much money at all on the golf.
Okay.
Because the greens fees don't take up all that, but it's greens fees plus gifts. Like we'll have a gift, whether it be a golf bag or shirts. We usually have or putter head cover, driver cover. We usually have something that's a really significant fun gift that everybody enjoys. There's a bunch of items that really cut into the margin, obviously, just with the golf. The silent auction is huge because that's all donated items and people are establishing a value for those items. So that's pretty much, that's where we make a lot of our money. And then people participating on each hole for different games and prizes. That helps out as well. So I would say the silent auction is the number one.
Really?
But you have to get, the more golfers you get, the more participation you get in the silent auction. So you need the golf, not as a loss leader, but you need it as an engagement tool so that you get the silent auction going. Yeah. So we have a bunch of different profit centers, though. It's a fun thing. We start looking at it kind of as a business that is a socially conscious business. That's what we try and do.
So what time is the morning shotgun?
9 a.m.
So it's 9 a.m.
Yeah, people usually get there 8:30.
So I'm thinking 3, ending somewhere around 2-ish,
Yep.
2:30?
2:30.
Yeah.
We wait for a bunch of people a bunch of the foursomes to come in. We do the putting tournament. People can start to go down to Legends Hall and get their food, start to bid on some silent auction items, and then we usually have a winner for the tournament. So the winner gets $100 per person, so it's $400 for the foursome. I think there's a second place too, or there was a second place. And then previously we've had a last place winner too, so usually puts them on the spot, but it's kind of a fun little thing. So we'll do that. We'll do raffle items. We have a raffle as well that helps out. Mulligans, strings, we sell all that sort of stuff.
So someone is watching, as I mentioned, it's $150 per person, $600 for a foursome, $700 if you want a foursome and also want to be a sponsor of the tournament as well. If by the time people watch this, it has been sold out golf-wise, how else can they help? Can they donate a valuable silent auction item? Can they sponsor it? Do you do tee and green sponsors, or is it just the tee sponsors?
We just do tee sponsors. We've thought about doing potentially green sponsors, depending on the demand. We usually fill out the tee sponsors. We also, one other thing I forgot to mention, we partner with Nissan Village. They provide us a car for a hole-in-one hole.
Wow.
They do a tremendous job with just allowing us to have that as a value add for everybody. But yeah, we just do the tee sponsors. But if you want to participate or help out in any sort of way, tee sponsorships are always available. Donations are always available. We're always looking to partner with local entities, whether it be banks or anybody who's willing to support this sort of cause for graduating North Attleboro seniors. So we'll find a way to partner. And what's that, probably 2 weeks away, May 6th? I bet you we'll have a couple of foursomes left. So just contact me. I'm happy to provide my contact info.
Now, for people who have never been involved in one of these golf tournaments, what Nissan Village does, and they'll probably have a car.
That's right.
Right next to the tee. You don't want to put it right next to the green because if there's an errant shot, that would not be good. And they actually purchase hole-in-one insurance, which may cost them $500 for the day or $1,000 for a day. But just coming to that hole, I mean, you're teeing it up and you're thinking, wow, my life could change.
That's pretty cool.
If this goes in, and every now and then you'll get a shot that's close and it gets very exciting, or depending on the line of the pin, it looks like it's in, and then you get up there and no, it's about 3 feet by,
right.
But it's perfectly in line with the pin. What hole? 8, 17?
Yeah.
Is it the...
That's a great question.
Is there water?
Yeah, I think it's, so there's 8 and then 17 are like this, right?
Yeah.
I think 8 is the beat the pro hole. I want to say it's either 17 or 8 is the hole-in-one hole, but it's either beat the pro or hole-in-one. One of those holes.
And people might say, well, why don't you make it on an easier hole? These insurance companies that are issuing the policy, because let's face it, Nissan Village would love someone to make a hole-in-one and win that car, because they're paying the same insurance regardless, but the insurance companies have very strict standards that it has to be so many yards, and usually you'll even see next to the tee a little line with like 165, and that it has been measured and it has been verified that that's the actual distance.
You got it, 100%.
Yeah, because some people say, well, geez, why don't you make it on an easier hole? Well, you could do that, but then rather than Nissan Village donating $1,000, they'd be donating $20-something thousand.
Exactly.
No car dealership does that well, that's for sure. And if
Yeah.
they do it for your tournament, they'd have to do it for every
And
tournament.
a lot of people say it's honor system, so what's to say somebody's not going to just put a ball into the hole and say that they got a hole-in-one? Well, it's honor system. People, I mean, you'd be surprised that people don't really take advantage of there. So, yeah, I hope somebody gets a hole-in-one this year, but we'll see.
Oh yeah, that's always very exciting. So you mentioned the board of directors. My brother Bob, a former principal at North Attleboro High School, is a member of that board. You're on the board. How often does the board meet?
Quarterly. So once every 3 months, we'll get together for a couple hours and we'll go through a pretty structured agenda. My uncle tends to be very focused, so he'll put together the agenda. We'll go through financials. We'll go through any investments that we may have. Like you said, we may take extra funds and actually put that into an investment to try and make it much more sustainable. We'll go through venue. We'll go through foursomes. We'll go through tee sponsorships, silent auction items, that sort of stuff. And as we get closer or right after the tournament, we'll think of ways that we can improve the tournament, partner with some new valuable sponsors, and yeah.
How many times do you get ideas for your tournament from playing in other charity tournaments? Like, whoa, that was a good idea.
All the time. That's what we did. We played in the Mark Van Dette tournament last year, and it was great. I mean, we got a couple of ideas for different hole events. One of the things was this gun. You have it on a par 4, and you load a golf ball into the gun, and you can actually shoot it from the par 4. So you actually have a chance at an eagle putt, and you opt into it. So if you want to be a part of it, I think it's $20 a foursome or something like that. And it ends up being a fun little hole because people, you have this air generated gun, and you're just kind of shooting it at this 300 and something par 4. So it's pretty cool. But you come up with great ideas all the time because we don't have the market cornered here on ideas, and we're always looking to improve it. And supporting local charities too helps to raise our presence and help out North Attleboro.
I know one of the things Bishop Feehan High School does for their golf tournament is they have members of the golf team on the 1st and 8th tee. And when you go there for $20 a foursome, you don't hit your tee shot, they hit your tee shot.
Oh, really?
And I did it one year. The only ball I lost all day was hit by the high school kid. I wanted my $5 back.
You gotta love it.
I did not get the money. Chris Servant did not give me the money back. That is for sure. Yeah, the only ball I lost all day, I paid $5 for some kid to hit it into the woods. I could have done that.
I know, right?
Just wouldn't have hit it as deep into the woods.
Where's that tournament played?
I'm not sure now. It was played at Ledgemont. It was played at Pawtucket. It's
Well, they're up with some pretty good courses. Wow.
Yeah, I think a member or something there. But no, actually, I'm playing this afternoon at Wentworth Hills, so I know it very well. It can be a challenging course, but at the same time, in a scramble, and for people who aren't watching, a scramble is everyone tees off. You say, we want to play Nick's ball. His is closest to the hole. Everybody else goes and picks up their balls. They all drop at that spot, and then you hit from there. So a course like Wentworth, at the first hole, the dog leg left, if you're playing with someone who hits the ball far and has a controlled draw, you could be on the green putting for eagle on the first hole. So
definitely. It's always in beautiful shape, too.
Yeah.
It's always lush and green. It's a beautiful course. You're right, it is challenging. We play from the golds.
Oh, man.
So it's even more difficult, but it's a fun day. And you're right, you get the right person on your team, you get some shots at scoring.
Yeah, you want a stud on the team.
That's right.
You don't want me.
You don't want me either. That's why I have my cousin and my uncle on the team.
Yeah, I've got a shot at straightest drive, but longest drive.
It's usually the same 5 or 6 people. Yeah. We started doing straightest drive the last 3 years because
anybody can win that.
Yes, exactly. So it has to hit the fairway, and it has to be. There's like a minimum distance.
Yeah.
Not long, but yeah, anybody can win that because otherwise it's the same 5 or 6 guys.
Yeah. I'm one of those people that would hold up a sign at a golf tournament, do away with longest drive competition, because it's not fair. It excludes pretty much everyone. So once again, June 3rd, it's a Friday, $150 per player. Do you have any individuals signing up that then you match up with?
Yeah, Bobby Albertini played last year, one of my former teachers at the high school. He played. We put him into a group with my cousin and a couple other people and had a blast. So we do get individuals. If you love to golf, want to support the event, we'll put you in a foursome or add you as a fifth in somebody else's foursome. But would love to have you.
Now, Facebook page, website, how would someone learn more?
Website is GaryDiNardoMemorialFund.org. You can sign up, pay via PayPal right on the site. You can send me a check. 26 Anawan Road, North Attleboro, Mass., which is my address. And we have a Facebook page, a Facebook event. I'm happy to send you all that information. But just look up Gary DiNardo Memorial Golf Tournament.
And as always, if you want more information, you can always contact me here at North TV, pgay@northtv.net. I'll be happy to pass the information along. Nick?
Peter, thanks so much.
We were wondering how we were going to fill up an hour. It was a piece of cake. You were absolutely awesome. I want to thank Chris Miller and everyone else here behind the scenes. Megan Miller will be back in this chair next week. Hope you enjoyed this edition of Inside Look.